All right, welcome. We are gonna speed run some piano and singing and theory, okay? And then you can transfer it to guitar later or another instrument later. But it all starts on the piano. This is where music happens. So, first you turn on the piano. Now, this is an electric piano. Traditional acoustic grand piano is percussion. You play it and the strings vibrate and create sound, which means it needs to be tuned. Tuning means length of the sound. So when you tune a trumpet, you pull out the valve, which extends or tightens the air gap, which makes it vibrate longer or shorter. Now, the frequency, how much it vibrates, is the different notes. So A, B, C, and there's seven notes: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. So when you tune it, you want to play an E, so you play E, but it might sound like E sharp. No, okay, you play a C. It might sound like C sharp. So you tune it, you extend, or with a guitar, you tighten the strings or loosen the strings, and that makes it more closer to a E, not a E sharp, E flat. So closer to a E. Now a sharp is the black key. So when you have D, D sharp is the first black key next to it up. That's D sharp. Now, D flat is when you have a D and the first black key lower to it. So D flat, D. And if you're going to play the notes right next to each other, going up or down, like D, I'm just playing the notes in a row. That's the chromatic scale. That's the chromatic scale. It's not musical, it's just called chromatic because everything is sequential. Now, if you look on the piano, everything starts with C. So C is the most basic one. So this is C. This is C. This is C. Now, you got if you just play the white keys, that's the note name. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So they repeat, and each section of these seven notes together is called an octave. Because if you repeat the initial note C and C, that's eight notes then, because you're playing seven and then you're repeating it, so it's eight, so it's an octave. And that's all the piano is. That's all music is. Music is in fact seven notes or eight notes if you repeat the root note you started on, and that's octaves. And octaves are played along the piano, high octave, and every time you switch, you just say, I'm playing on a lower octave. I'm playing on a higher octave. Okay? On the piano, you have middle C. Not that important, but middle C is the middle of the piano. That's middle C. And then you have higher octaves, lower octaves. The middle C we'll get to is just how you write music on paper. So when you read music on paper, you read it from middle C, so you know how high or low, how far away you are from the middle C. And there's two clefs. There's a bass clef and a treble clef. The bass clef is everything below the middle C, and the treble clef is everything above the middle C. So treble is written as notes on the upper half, and bass is written as notes on the lower half. And they're written and read a little bit differently. Now the black keys. What are the black keys? The black keys are sharps and flats. So they're in between two notes. Now you'll notice they go 3, then 2, 2, then 3, then 2. That's because some notes don't have a sharp and some notes don't have a flat. So that's just the way music is built. That's just the way it's built. That's the law of the land. The law of the land. So you have C, C sharp, D. Now C sharp is also D flat. So D, D flat, or C, C sharp. D, D sharp, E. Now lower than E is E flat, which is also D sharp. So D, D sharp, E, E flat, D sharp, E flat, D, E. Now the next note after E, there's no E sharp. It just goes to F. So E, F. And then F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. And then in between B and C, there's no sharp. It's just B, C, B, C. So B and C are two white keys connected. There's no black key in between them. And E and F are two white keys. There's no black key in between them. Everything else has a black key in between it, except for E and F and B and C. Now remember, it all starts with C. So C is the first note before these two black keys. So go C, two black keys. E, F, three black keys. B, C. If you're a beginner, you can put a little tape or a wipe-off marker and write on the keys, the white keys. You're going to have to use a little bit of math yourself to, in the moment, find out the black keys. But just put on the white keys C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then in time, you're going to learn, okay, this note, it's in between two black keys, and the third black key, it's a G. And if I go the black key next to it, that's G sharp. If I go the black key lower next to it, that's G flat. And you're going to learn. So this key right here, in between two black keys, that's a D. Okay? So that's how we're doing theory right now. This is theory, but it's necessary to get into music. So that's how you're gonna learn. All the white keys are just the names A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the black keys are sharps and flats. Now, so if you're playing a solo, that's what you do. You play one note by one note. So you go like just the white keys. So you go like. So that's how you play a solo. You just play one note by one note, one hand, one note by one note. Now the other part of music is playing chords. What is a chord? It's two or more notes. And it's most often on the piano, three notes. And it looks like this. This finger, this finger, this finger. It's from here to here is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you play 1, 3, and 5. Now the most basic chord that everybody should know is it goes 1, 3, and 5. Now this 3, because sometimes there's two ways to play the 3. You can play the 3 closer to the top, or you can play the 3 closer to the bottom. So you can play 3 here and 3 here. But the 1 and the 5 always the same. So 1, 5, and only 3 has got to be 3 up or 3 down. Now the difference between a 3 up and a 3 down is major and minor. So you have a C. C, 3 is up, and 5. That's C major. Major chords are happy chords. Now if we were to play the C and the G stay the same, that's 1 and 5. But the 3 is lower, so the E flat instead of the E, that's C minor. So this is C major, And now C minor, we take the 3, the middle one, and we put it lower. E flat. So you're playing a sad, somber song, which is all my songs, C minor. You're playing a happy song, which is all the Taylor Swift songs, C major. In Spanish music, and guitar music, and passionate romantic guitar music, which is what I was brought up playing, it's all minor, 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 minor. But if you're playing pop songs, rock songs, it's all major, major, major. Some rock songs are also minor, but for the pop songs, it's all major. Now, you can build a chord from any note. This is called C major. This is called C minor. If you go to the D, this is D minor. We raise the third up and it's D major. E minor, E major, F major, F minor, G major, G minor. Okay, so you start off on the white key and you play the first note and the fifth note and the third key in the middle, up or down between a major and a minor. Now, when you play a song, we're almost done. When you play a song, you can't just fucking play C major, then D minor, then F major, then A minor, then, so how do you select the group of chords that are gonna fit in that song? It's called the key, a key. Now, a key is all the notes you're allowed to play and nothing else in that song or in that section of a song, mostly just the whole song. For example, C major means all the white keys. It's the most basic key, all the white keys. Okay? So C major means you play only the white keys and no black keys. So it's like this. That's C major. Now, if you were to do chords, you would have to build them only on the white keys. So 1, 3, 5. C major. With D, it's 1. Now you can't do F sharp, you have to do F lower. So it's D minor. So it's C major, D minor. Those are the chords you have to use. You are not allowed to use C major and then D major because D major has a black key. So all the chords need to be built on the white keys only. So C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, like that. And then how do you change a key? So the way keys are built is how many black keys they have. So at first you have no black keys, which is C major, which I told you only the white keys. The first change is 1 black key, and the first black key is F sharp. So F sharp. Now, throughout the entire song, any F that you would play needs to be a F sharp. Needs to be the black key next to it, F. You are not allowed to play Fs. You are only allowed to play F sharps because the key is 1 black key, F sharp. And that key is called G major. G major. So in G major, the scale is... It's kind of happy. And it is. It's probably the most happiest key in all the keys that exist. G major, and then C major is the second most happiest. So G major is the scale guitarists first learn on the guitar. It's basic, it's the most happiest scale in existence. It's also the songs Beethoven played a lot of his songs in. He had some minor dark songs as well, but the For Elise and Ode to Joy. those happy songs were all written in the G major or the very next key, two black keys, which is the F and the C. The F and the C. Für Elise is written in this key with the F and the C. I don't know how the fucking song goes, but Für Elise is written in where you have two black keys, the F and the C, and they go in order. You can't say two black keys and then be like A and D. You know, they go in order. So they go F and then every five. So let's go F. So F is the first one. So it goes F and then G, A, B, C. That's the fifth one. C is the next one. And then C, D, E, F, A. A is the next one. So it goes F sharp, C sharp, A sharp, A, B, C, D, E. E is the fourth one. So we go F, C, A, E. Every five in a row. And though when you have A, you need to play all four of the black keys. All four of the black keys. When you have, what was it? E, all four of the black keys. A, three of the black keys. C, you have to play C and F. F, you just play F. So you have F, one black key. C, F, and C. A, F, C, A. E, F, C, A, E. And you have to always play those black keys instead of the white keys next to them. And that is how keys work. Now, the way I make my music is I just sing in a key, and everybody has to sing in the key. What that means is songs are chords usually. Songs are chords. There are many instruments, many voices. One voice is one level. So you have three notes in a chord, that's three levels. When you have chords, you have notes that fit in the chord and notes that fit in the key. So when you have two or more instruments, such as a piano and a voice, or a guitar and a guitar, or a violin and an oboe, or a violin and a bass, or a bass and a keyboard, when you have two instruments, the way they sound good together is one person's playing the chords in the key. So we'll do the key with the F sharp. G major, the happy key. G major has F sharp only. So G major, one black key, F sharp. So this is a chord. Now, the other voice needs to play something in that key, meaning whatever you choose to play has to have the same notes in that key. So one voice goes like this, and the next voice goes like this. Together now. See how it fits? If I were to not use the F sharp on the right hand and play a different key, this is how it would sound. Doesn't fit. You have to play both instruments using the same notes in the key. So both instruments are playing either a solo or a chord in the same key. Now, if you're a Christina Aguilera, if you're a Katy Perry, if you're a Michael Jackson, you're gonna sing the song note by note. So, or Celine Dion or an Adele, you need to sing the song note by note. So it's like ha 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 ha, except it's words. I went to the store today. And when they perform the song, they need to hit the words in that note. I went to the store today. But if you're some fucking rapper or just some fucking country artist or some jamming reggae rock guy, you're not going to be a Christina Aguilera or a Michael Jackson playing note by note, which means when you sing the words, you can make them any single note in that key. So if this is your key, you just got to make sure whatever you sing fits in that key. And that's a lot easier than nailing each note by note. So you have this chord and you sing in that key. I went to the store today. 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 So it's a lot easier for people that don't have range or don't have vibrato or don't have ad libs, so you can just stick to, if you just know how to sing 3 notes, then the key is this, and the chords change. So the chords go, but you can only play 3 notes. As long as those 3 notes are in that key, these 3, or lower, wherever your range is, then you can sing the whole song using those 3 notes while the chords jump around, and it will still fit as long as you're playing those 3 notes. Whereas Christina Aguilera might go, so she's actually playing every fucking note that matches the chords. But a rock guy, a reggae guy, a country guy, a rapper, just gonna play just gonna play his range in that fucking key while the song jumps around. And you can still be creative, you could still be emotional, you could still use dynamics, loud, soft, emotion. You could still do all of that with only 3 notes in the key instead of playing every single note that matches the chords. And that about does it for music theory. You have the notes, three black keys, 2 black keys, all the white keys, and they repeat each octave 7 notes with the 8th repeating, and they repeat each octave. And you have 2 black keys and 3 black keys where there are sharps and flats. The keys are all the notes you're allowed to play in a song, and there are all the white keys, then 1 black key, then 2 black key, then 3 black key, then 4 black key. And that's what the name of the C major, G major, D major, A major, E major. Minor, if you want to say C minor instead of C major for the key, minor just changes the note it starts on. So it's all major. You say C major, D major, G major. But if you want to say a minor, it just changes the note it starts on. It's some advanced theory, but C major is A minor. Just changes the note it starts on. So C major is all the white keys starting on C. A minor is all the white keys starting on A. And the difference is, if you were to play the key starting with the minor, the A minor, it sounds more sad, romantic, like that stuff. The minor key. But if you were to play the key, all the white keys starting on the C major, then it's the happy. So this is C, the exact same key, C major, A minor. We're going to play all the white keys in the C major. Happy. That's C major. Now we can play all the white keys in A minor, starting on the A. Same key, all the white keys, but the A minor is sad and the C major is happy. So every key has a major and a minor, and they're all the same spaced apart. It's the thirds. Remember the thirds, minor, major in the thirds? That's how the keys change as well. So C major, A minor is a third apart. G major, D minor, same key, but they're a third apart. A, B, C. Yeah, it's G major, E minor, A minor, B, C major, E minor, F, G major, F minor, G, A major, C minor, D, E major. So minor and major keys are all separated by three notes. And remember we said when you build a chord, it's always first and 5, and the 3 in the middle goes from major to minor. And that's like 99% of theory that you need to know. All you gotta then is learn the keys, the black keys, so which notes are where, and how to build some chords, and how to learn some common keys. The most common keys are all the white keys, 1 black key, and 2 black keys. Every song I ever play, except for singers. So singers usually sing, like the high female singers usually sing with 4 black keys. And there's a little more color to that, a little more tone to that. So when they design songs for them, they design them songs in that key, which means they play all the chords and all the instruments with 4 black keys. But to just play regular music, you mainly use the first 3 keys. Only the white keys, 1 black key, and 2 black keys. And that's like 100% of songs are written in those 3 keys. Mozart did his songs in those keys. Beethoven did his songs in those keys. Tchaikovsky did his songs in those keys. They used other keys as well, but they all have songs in those 3 keys as well. So all the white keys, 1 black key, 2 black keys, especially if you're playing Spanish music on a guitar, improvisation, you're using all the white keys, 1 black key, or 2 black keys. And so, like when I play an improvisation, it's just the chord and some patterns, but in that key. So this song, this hand is doing the solo, the melody, 1 note at a time. This hand is doing the chords together in the same key, and that key was A minor or C major, only the white keys. Let's do a solo in only with 2 black keys, the F and the C. So 2 black keys. Every single F is an F sharp, every single C is a C sharp, and that key is D major, which is what Beethoven played his songs in. See how it's a lot more happy because the key, it's the most happiest key there is. The F sharp and the C sharp, the two black keys, or the one black key, are the two most happiest keys in existence, in my opinion. In my experience, those are the two most happiest keys. Um, I don't even know how to play them minor. There is a way, if you start on a different note, you can make those happy keys into sad keys, but I don't even know how to do that. Let's try. So we said D major, right? That is B minor, B minor. So if we were to play that happy ass song starting on the B, it would become sad. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, we were able to do it. Now it's very fucking sad. But it's the same key. C sharp and F sharp. Two black keys. But we started on the B. And we built it around the B chord. The B chord. We started on the B, built it around the B chord. But if you started around the D, built it around the D major chord, two black keys, it's going to be happy, Beethoven. And if you started on the B minor chord, exact same key, two black keys, F and C, but it's sad. So that's how you play music in keys and voicings and that's the essentials of music. You just gotta practice a little bit to learn the notes, the keys, the chords, and then do some practice to practice playing chords and solos in different keys. Minor, major. And singing, you got songs, play the karaoke, sing in that key, sing in that key. If you have a music teacher, or if you record yourself and listen to yourself, and you find a word, a lyric, a song note, a part of the song where you don't fit, that means you're out of key on that note. It might be a little low, might be a little high. So pause the song, play that line, and when you get to that note, repeat that note until you can get it right. So for example, you're playing Taylor Swift Red. I don't know the fucking notes, I'm just gonna make them up. Loving him was red. Now say I went, loving him was red. Loving him was red. Him doesn't match. The correct one is loving him was red or something like that. So when I listen to it and I replay it, instead of going la 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 la, loving him was red, that's correct. But if I'm playing it, I'm going loving him was red, loving him was red. I notice it doesn't fit, so I slow it down and I go loving him, hey, 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 hey. Loving him was red. Loving him was red. I don't have a range, but that's how you would do it. And then you sing the entire song with the music on. and you listen for notes that don't fit. Even professional singers play fucking notes that don't fit. So, two options to solve it. One is you play the exact note, but if you can't reach it, just play any other fucking note in that key. In that key. So, if you can't go, loving him was red, you can always go, loving him was red. But as long as it's in that key and you can reach it, it's gonna fit. It doesn't have to be the exact note that you hear on the record. And that's why you do a song, and then when you go on these singing shows, they'll be like, you were too high, you were too sharp, you were too flat, you were out of key, you were out of key in the chorus, you didn't do the verse pronunciation very well, you sped up too quickly, you were too slow, you missed the beat. So you practice being a good singer, and you practice specific songs. So you can be a good singer, but if you don't know how to play that song, to be on beat, to play the correct notes, to know when a high note comes up, when a low note comes up, transition between chords, you learn how to play that song, and you rehearse that song, and you know all the secrets to that song. And then you learn to be a good singer, and you can pick up songs and sing in different keys and be always on the key and on the beat. And yeah, that's the and I brought this up because I was going to show you how to write music. See, it looks like this, and the note can either be on the line or in between the line. And if it's on the line, it tells you where a key is. If it's in between the line, that's a key next to it. And the color, if it's dark black or hollow white or half black, half white, it's like the beat, the length of the note. So if you see a key on the line and it's completely dark, that's a C quarter note. So C quarter note is like, if you see a key in between the lines here and it's hollow, that's an A half note. So it's like, and the other key note we saw was a C quarter note. And that's how you read the music you see with what is actually supposed to be played. Okay? So that sums up the entire singing and piano. And every goddamn instrument starts with the piano, meaning chords, scales, keys, notes, voices, levels, reading music. It all started with the piano, and it's all the exact same as the piano. And we always need to learn the piano because it's easiest to visualize. You can't see a fucking C major chord on a guitar. You can't see what other instrument uses. You can't see an A note on a bass. You can't see a G on a trumpet, but you can see them all on the piano. So fundamental is the piano, and every musician should know the piano, even vocalists. And then you can make music. You go to a computer, you plug in your piano, you plug in your guitar, you plug in your microphone, you have your effects, and you make music, and you You put a piano down, you put a guitar down, you put a synthesizer down, you put some fake trumpets, and you play a trumpet on the piano. So you plug the piano in, and you select version trumpet, and now your piano sounds like a trumpet in the computer. So you play a trumpet, you play a saxophone, you play a violin, you play a regular piano, you play a synthesizer, you get your guitar, you play a guitar, then you add your voice, and you've made your own song using your tools you've learned from music theory, the piano, the vocals, the guitars, the effects on the computer. And as long as all these instruments are in the same key, it's gonna all fit. It's gonna all fit. And then you break it down: verse, chorus, bridge, intro, outro, verse 2, pre-chorus, post-chorus, hook, chorus, verse, intro, outro, bridge, verse 2, chorus 2. And then you got a song. And then you go to release it and make a music video and go on the radio, and then you perform it live and you perform it acoustic, and you are a musician. So 40-minute video masterclass about everything to do with starting music. And every professional musician is a master at all of this. So you got to master all of this. Okay? Until next time, stay classy in New York.